Hello, hello, 1, 2, 3. Hello, hello, 1, 2, 3. Hello, 1, 2, 3. Hello.
I feel happy, aware of
Hello,
my
1, 2,
eyes.
3.
I feel happy, aware of my tail. I feel
Hello, 1, 2, 3. Hello, 1, 2, 3.
I feel happy whenever I sit. I feel happy whenever I rest. I feel happy because I have learned to look deeply. Whenever I wake up,
I feel happy.
my eyes, I feel happy. Aware of my health, I feel happy because I have learned to look deeply. Whenever I walk, I feel happy. Whenever I sit, I feel happy. Whenever I rest, I feel happy because I have
1, 2, 3.
learned to
Hello,
look deeply.
hello, 1, 2, 3. Cho thầy thử.
Do you love the most? Two promises? I like the roses.
I like the roses. Sao có chỗ vô nhiều cái.
I like the roses, I like the Hold breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Cho nó quen với lại cái movement. Breathing in, breathing out. Do you know that song? Bạn bấm cái này. Bấm cái này lên dĩa cho cái máy bạn nhỏ hát.
Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. I am flowing as a flower. I am fresh as a dew. I am solid as a mountain. I am firm as the earth. I am free. Breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. I am water, empty. I am free, I am free, I am free. Breathing out, I am moving as a flower. I am fresh as a dew. I am solid as a mountain. I am firm as the earth. I am free. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. I am water, reflecting. I am free, I am free, I am free.
So thank you, brothers and sisters, and all our young friends and all the adults for joining the singing meditation with us. Now you are free to get back to the cushions. Please go back to your seat, your cushions, with your mothers or your father, and we will invite the monastics to come up to offer a chant before the Dharma talk. Thank you.
không có pháp thoại cho trẻ em nha. Trẻ em làm riêng, tại vì nó không đủ thời giờ. Sư cô nhưng không.
Xin mời đại chúng, hôm nay chúng ta sẽ tụng bài From the Depth và bài Cam Lộ.
The Sangha is invited to come back to our breathing so that our collective energy of mindfulness will bring us back together as an organism, going as a river with no more separation. Let the whole Sangha breathe as one body, chant as one body, listen as one body, and transcend the boundaries of a delusive self, liberating from the superiority complex, inferiority complex, and the equality complex.
From the depths of understanding, a flower of great eloquence blooms. The Bodhisattva stands majestically upon the waves of birth and death, free from all afflictions. Her great compassion eliminates all sickness, even that once thought of as incurable. The wondrous light Môn yang miên chạy mãi về phương đông. Dear Thai, dear community, if the children could now make their way out to the Brothers Dining Hall so that the children's program can begin, that'd be wonderful. Thank you.
So the teenagers program also in the common room, please. Teenagers, please follow us outside.
Testing, testing. Today is Friday, July 12, 2024. Can you hear me well? So listen to we sound the bell and come back to our breath, our body, and just settle ourselves a little bit. Dear Thầy, dear friends, can you hear me well? Welcome to the summer family retreat. This is, I've been here maybe 17 years now, and almost every year we have a family summer retreat. So we can get the family, children, teenage together, just to practice together mindfulness and see the benefit of transforming our habit energy and also to restore, establish communication with our loved one, namely with our partner, with our friends, and also between parents and children. And also to start with ourselves. I think last evening we have seen the presentation of Beginning Anew. So hopefully we will get the chance to practice them. Either in a Dharma sharing group or also parents with teenage and with children, we can practice. So when we learn something in Brahmanic tradition, we practice right away. So we have a knowledge, but also we put into practice right away in a more concrete way, so we can see what's worked, what doesn't work, and we can improve ourselves. We heard at the beginning of retreat, Thầy Phap Khoi and Sister Bát Nghiêm talk about slowing down our body, slowing down our movement, slowing down our activity. And also there were suggestions about stopping, but not stopping our body, but more like stopping our thinking mind. And learn how to focus our attention to the present moment, using breath as the anchor between the body and mind together in one unit. We know also that we have plenty of conditions to be happy. It's just we have a tendency to focus only on the ones that are not right, and we try to only say, well, I'm not happy because such and such conditions are not met, and I have to wait until I met that condition before I get happy. But then I think life is full of intertwined between happiness and suffering. It can happen in any moment. Happiness can turn to suffering, and suffering can turn into happiness if we are skillful enough. For example, the last few weeks before we prepare for this retreat, even the last few days, we are having a heat wave. So it's quite hot. And I was thinking about preparing for Dharma Talk, whether it's going to be hot or not. And originally I put on a scarf because it helped to put the clip on. It's easy. But I decided I think I don't need the scarf. So Sister Flower have shared yesterday about the 4 ways to generate joy and happiness, namely mindfulness, concentration, insight, and the 4th element is letting go. Meaning letting go of our preconception, letting go of idea of happiness. Often we think that we're not allowed to be happy until we graduate from university, until we get our job, until we have a family, until we have children. And yet we have it, and then still we're looking for something else to be happy. And yet we have plenty of conditions to be happy. So maybe I go to the board, it's not easy. I'm still like to use a board, but many brothers started to use PowerPoint now, so I'm learning how to use it. But I still like to go to the board from time to time, because there's so much technology to master. So today I'm going to share with you about the four right diligence. Tứ chánh cần. So imagine our mind is like a garden, and you are a gardener. A few days ago, I showed some people to the garden down near to the nunnery, and there are a few ladies who say, "Well, I've been a gardener." So most people who has experience as a gardener know what to do. We have the ground with the garden, the earth. And of course, we fortify them, putting some good earth fertilizer, something. And then we plant the good seeds. And we have to distinguish between the good seed and the bad seed. And sometime before you even put on the earth, you have to weed all the bad seed first, before you can put in the good seed in. And then you have to work on watering the good seed, but not watering the bad seed. And often the bad seed, they grow by itself. Even though you didn't water them, they keep growing. And if left untouched, it will, propagate and invade the whole garden. So we want to have a tomato. Like I love cherry tomato. We have to have basil. We have to have coriander or whatever herbs that are typical in our Asian kitchen. So to understand this, I think I need to draw a picture. This is our teacher has been teaching us about different scientists and researchers has divided our consciousness into 8 levels of consciousness. And this is go back way to Nalanda University of the great Zen teacher who has been passing down for many generations with us. So we divide the consciousness into two parts. This is the upper consciousness, level of consciousness. And this is the basement consciousness. Sometimes we call it the storehouse consciousness. And in our upper level consciousness, we have the 5 sense consciousness. Namely, eye consciousness, ear consciousness, nose consciousness, like a sense of smell, and the recognition of what that smell is. And tongue consciousness, that when we taste the flavor of the food, and body consciousness. So up here, we have what we call mental consciousness, which we call the sixth level of consciousness. And this is we call the gardener. Now in the basin consciousness, we have a lot of seeds. And sometimes some of the seeds are very strong because being watered for generation to generation through the practice of non-mindfulness for many, many years. Many of you have been to this retreat for the first time, so we are slowly learning and we are reversing the trend. But also the current is very strong for many generations. So often we have events that sprout the seed of like fear, anxiety, anger. And if we allow it to stand too long, when it comes back to the subconsciousness, the seed grows bigger and bigger. So our job is to learn how to selective watering the good seed that is in our subconsciousness. So let's say this is the good seed. So using the mind consciousness, we have to focus on the good seed and water and invite them to come up. And we have a flower of joy, happiness, mindfulness, of course, compassion, etc. And that flower of mindfulness, concentration, and insight can embrace the seed of anxiety, fear, and sorrow, and calm them, just like a crying baby, and slowly invite them to come down to the subconsciousness. And then we repeatedly ask them to stay longer, and we can water another flower of joy, of loving kindness, of non-discrimination, inclusiveness. So the more we practice selective watering as a gardener, and the more we have a stronger seed, and we slowly invaded our subconsciousness. So we are more prone to become joyful, more prone to become happy, and not prone to become anxious, to become grouchy, to become fearful, to become angry. So this is basically what these four right religions are talking about. So if the positive mental formation are up in our mental consciousness, we keep it up. So that's what we do it here. I'll try some. And if the positive mental formation are down in the subconsciousness, like happiness, so we invite them to go up. So we choose another seat here, and we invite them to go up. And if the negative mental formation are already up in our mental consciousness, we know, oh, it's not worth to be angry. Let's forget about it. It's not worth the trouble. Or if you have fear, anxiety, and you say, okay, it's not worth it. It will pass. So we invite them to go down. And if the negative mental formation down consciousness already, like anger, jealousy, something, we let them sleep. We don't touch them. And we let it stay in the subconsciousness. Now the thing is, we have to say, well, if we do practice this for diligence, why do we keep having all those strong emotions? That's because, first of all, the seeds down there are still very big. And the second thing is other people water our seeds. So that's why, to me, in practice, it's very important to have a collective energy of mindfulness concentration inside. For why I was studying this, and I thought, well, I apply that for myself. I water a good seed of joy and happiness. I water a good seed of loving kindness that are maybe not present in me yet, so I can do it. And if I upset, angry about something, I ask the mental formation to come down. But sometimes, to me, it's not enough. I think, can you imagine if somebody watered the seed of joy and happiness in you, it's 5 times, 10 times more effective than you watering the seed of joy and happiness in yourself. So if we allow the benefit of other people water the seed of you, and we in turn water the seed of joy and happiness, of kindness to other people, it multiplies 10 times, 20 times. That's why it's helped to have a community of co-practitioners. For example, we have a couple lazy days doing after the retreat and so on. And during the lazy day, we don't have any schedule or program. So it's optional. If people want to come Monday to the meditation hall and sit in meditation, they are welcome. But our monastic rarely come here to sit meditation on Monday, on lazy day. We sit in meditation about 300 days a year already. So we follow the schedule of being lazy. But other retreatants who come only once a week, a year, they love to our meditation hall. They want to come to practice with us. And sometimes you come, you sit by yourself, you don't feel supported. So can you imagine when this morning or yesterday morning we come, we sit together with the whole Sangha, we feel supported. So the same thing, the four right religion, it not just you practice yourself, but you practice for other people. And other people practice this for you. And then it have a cascade effect. It will improve our practice a lot quicker. That's why sometimes we continue to have retreat like this, when everybody gather together. And during the time we spend together, there are a lot of personal transformation. It happened, we don't have what we call exact formula when it happened, but sometime during the retreat, something triggered and happened. So that way, a lot of people continue to come to Blue Cliff Monastery for our retreat, whether it's a regular weekend or some special theme retreat, like a summer retreat or OI retreat or Vietnamese speaking retreat and so on. And there's another thing that hinders us. It is what we call, so this is the 8th level consciousness. But there is another level of consciousness. So to make it simple, is an ego consciousness. We can call manas. And that's the 7th level of consciousness. So that 7th level consciousness is formed whenever our body needs to protect ourselves. For example, we have in the past, we have some suffering, maybe as a baby, as a child, as an immigrant, as a refugee, as a victim of war, poverty. We have what we call a trauma. And it accumulated if we don't know how to treat it. And it becomes a block of consciousness that are there to secure ourselves. And it forms an identity of I, me, my, and so on. And it formed even for many generations. So sometimes we are here to enlarge our consciousness of the self, of the ego. So we need to project ourselves outside our self-consciousness, our ego. And that is difficult unless you practice more compassion, more loving kindness other people. Often we like to protect ourselves, we like to protect our family, we like to protect our children, and sometimes we just focus on that only. And some people are more lucky, they have a wonderful life, they have other things, then they can bring back to offer to the society to help other people. And that increases that sense of happiness. Sometimes we call unconditional happiness. Often when we do, it's very conditional happiness. It you're unhappy because of something. And as soon as that condition changes, you're no longer happy. And so to me, this is very important to understand it and to practice along with that. So this is maybe, it's a more, sometimes I use a picture, but I cannot draw on the picture. That's why I use a picture. But probably you can see it more, you know. So to increase your sense of self, your sense of awareness, of consciousness, to me, to practice, sometimes to me, is not enough. Because you can practice for yourself, and you have to turn to practice for other people. But probably the best way to expand yourself is to practice with right mindfulness, concentration, insight. These are agents for transformation of those seeds that are at the basement here. By having a dynamic practice to change it. So we know the basic practice of Plumberlish is to have mindful breathing and do mindful step. And that we can carry with us everywhere we go, at any moment. And sometimes we fell off the wagon, we go back again to be mindful breathing, mindful step. And to put the body and mind together in the present moment. And so we need some reward, we need some motivation. Often we practice for a while and we see probably it's not enough. And we get bored. Okay, I'm being mindful. Okay, I'm concentrate. Okay, I have some insight. Now what? So to add that, we need to develop what we call a four immeasurable love. So this is in Buddhism, we all know about that. Loving kindness, compassion, joyfulness, and inclusiveness. So loving kindness is really to be kind to other people. Sometimes we have another definition we call the capacity to offer happiness to other people. Sometimes we want to offer happiness to other people, but because of different circumstances or how other people perceive us, we try to offer, but the person is not happy. So we have to look back into the dynamic between the person and yourself, our past history together, and how we're able to offer that happiness. So we need to have that capacity. I think Thay often mentioned he could not stand the odor of durian. This is one of the famous Asian fruit that has very strong flavor and smell. And if people say, Thay, I love you, I want to offer durian because that's my favorite fruit. And he say, well, please, if you love me, don't offer durian. Don't bring it close to me. Even the attendants, sometimes they eat durian, and right after that, they come to take care of our teacher. And he can even smell. He say, well, you've been eating durian. And the other one is to develop compassion, to be kind, to offer love to other people, but also the capacity to take away the suffering, the sadness in other people. And you have to develop a special capacity to do that. So that way, it takes a lot more practice to be able to take away the suffering. Mainly, a lot of them, we practice deep listening. In our Dharma sharing, we say, well, we let other people share, but we don't ask for clarification. We don't ask for, what do you mean by that? We don't ask, oh, I'm sorry for you. We don't respond. And sometimes, to me, to listen to somebody talk about his, her, or their suffering and not say anything, that's very difficult. Because back in our storehouse consciousness, we want to say something. Oh, I'm sorry for you, whatever that thing is. And sometimes the person who shares doesn't need our advice. It's just to be listened, because all her life, or his life, nobody wants to listen to them. And if they can get the chance to have some people full attention to listen. You know, in the past, people come to the church and do confession. And sometimes the brothers supposed to listen to the confession and give advice. Nowadays, people don't even go to church anymore. So they refer to psychologists, they refer to psychotherapists, and we pay money for them to come to listen to them. And that's a lot of money too. But sometimes I don't know whether they are skillful, they're good enough, I don't know. We give consultation too during the retreat for private individual. But also most of the time, during the session of Dharma sharing, we open our heart and we share. And if people practice deep listening well enough, it will take away the suffering and the sadness in other people. And the other one, the capacity to be happy and to spread our happiness. So you want to give other people happy, but you're so sad. Sometimes you can do it, but often it's difficult. I think if you're happy, other people believe that it's possible to be happy. So you have to start happiness by being yourself. And often people don't have a capacity to be happy. They always say, well, I'm waiting for something to be happy. The French has a song, the word that say, qu'est-ce qu'on attend pour être heureux? What are we waiting to be happy? We're waiting until we divorce somebody. We wait until we marry somebody. We wait until we have children to be happy. If we don't have children, we cannot be happy. And yet, right after that, or you want to have a new car, so you're happy until you get a new car. You bought a new car, and right after a few months, you disregard it. Say, oh, that's okay. I want something else to be happy. So sometimes you need to train your mind in little happiness that you can are not very conditional, that you can generate your own joy and happiness. And little joy, little happiness bring to big joy, big happiness. And it doesn't depend on a lot of outside conditions. It depends on the consciousness of our mind. So that way, our teacher wrote a book they call Understand Our Mind. And basically, they talk about this level of A-level consciousness. So we can practice to develop that love, that happiness, and then we can spread to other people. And of course, the other one is inclusiveness, meaning you don't see a lot of difference between yourself and others. There's no barrier. So therefore, there were no discrimination. And you increase, and this is what we call immeasurable love. You can increase. So first of all, you become happy in the family. You take good care of your children, and you're happy with your family. But then you extend to your extended family. So you love your nephew, your niece, your brother, your sister, your grandmother, and then you increase to love the family of your friends. You increase to be the love of your neighbor. You increase the love of your neighbor, whether it's Brooklyn or Queens or Manhattan or Philadelphia or something. And then you increase to, I recently joined, we call a book club or something. I don't know, it's called Medium or Writer or something like that. So you can, with the internet now, you can really connect with many groups. You can learn how to exchange love and compassion. And going back to see the motivation of how drive our mind. I think I listened to Thầy talk in many talks, and I was able to put together, this is the motivator for most of the living beings. So they come to 5 basic desires. So the desire to live, to survive, and the desire to procreate, to continue, and the desire to be loved and to be careful, and the desire to love and to cherish, and of course the desire to know, to learn something. And that has been since the beginning of humanity. We always struggle to do that. First of all, our ancestors need to survive and need to live. And during that time, also we develop that ego thing to protect ourselves. So our next generation can live and replace us. And then ever since we are born, we are a baby lying on the crib. And I think sometimes we do our, how to say, caca, you poop, and then our diaper is kind of dirty, and we cannot change it. So we cry. We say, Mom, please, somebody come and change my diaper. So we need to be loved, to be careful. And it starts right after you getting out of the mother womb. And we are so dependent on other people. And then later on, we develop that bond, so we depend emotionally, psychological. And if you happen to be living in a difficult family, you develop a lot of suffering, trauma, and then you go about life looking for love all the time, you know. So you need to understand that motivation and know how to replace it, to change with something else. And the same thing, we also decide to love. I think recently we went out to vacation, and we went with a sister to play some amusing game. Basically, we throw dart, we throw ball, and they have a couple small dolls, and they lure us into some kind of reward, and we can just throw, and we never get the reward, you know. Sometimes we win just a tiny small thing like that, you know. So I noticed sometimes the sister loved to have a little doll, because maybe in the childhood they don't have it, you know. And sometimes it's just something to cuddle, sometimes cute, you know. And that's why we have pet, also the desire to love. And also the desire want to have children as well, because children, small children are so cute, you know. Of course, small children can grow up to be somebody nice or Hitler or something. So it depends how we treat them, how we raise them. So that's very important when we bring your children here, just to make sure they have a good future. And of course, also the desire to procreate, to continue us, you know. And of course, the desire to learn, to know more. Before we only see the moon, and we develop different lunar calendar, and we assign deity, we have assigned God, something to explain unexplainable situation, and then religion form around that. But I'm thinking, I love to be a scientific. Carl Sagan is like my idol. And of course, you know, I'm Einstein is one of them. You can use a science to learn more about nature, about astronomy, about astrology, all the other things. So the desire to learn, also, we are so technological advanced. Look at that, I don't have to have, I can put that. So we improve a lot. But then we need to have a master our technology. We don't have to carry away by so much that we don't know how to use our technology. Nowadays, I think the AI, we need to be careful about that. We need to know where we can think our mind. I think I went to college. I put myself, it's hard. But to me, in college, what I learned is to learn how I think for myself, to know where to get information, and to have a good, inquisitive mind, train of thought, to solve our own issues, to solve our own problems. I learned financial accounting. I have a BBA. I learned in banking. But I think this is just knowledge I can switch when I have other profession. But what I learned to be valuable is a set of skills on how to look for information, how to have a critical thinking, how to distinguish between right and wrong, how to distinguish between real and fake. I think there's a lot of misinformation now that people pass around, and even using AI to spread out misinformation. So I want to share about you something. Recently, I discovered that confirm what our teacher and what our Zen ancestor been sharing for a long time. For me, I value a lot of silence. I have various roommates, and I remember there are some roommates that we sit together. I think sometimes I roommate with Phap for a while, and we share 2 beds in the same room, but we rarely talk to each other. We just, in the morning, sometimes we sit, we drink tea, or we share a few words. But we are not like, sometimes when we have a subject, a topic, we talk, but usually we don't talk a lot. When I drive or something, I don't like anybody talk on the car. I like to concentrate on the road. And my co-pilot, which is a person sitting next to me, is supposed to help me with the map, with the direction, but not play music. I think I have a lot of brothers come and then they put on some kind of loud music, whatever, and I say, no, please don't. That distracts me from driving. This is the recent one. My sister, elder sister, passed away in last August during the U.S. tour, and I couldn't come to her funeral because we were doing a U.S. tour. So right after that, I flew to Switzerland, where she lived, to attend the 49-day memorial of them. And I cleaned her apartment. I helped with my brother and sister to clean up her apartment, all the souvenir, the photo, and all that from my mom and other things. And during the lazy day, when I have time, I love to pass by the bookstore. They call the library. And I look for French books because, I speak French and I need to keep on practicing my French. So I spend about 3 hours looking. And I travel, so I cannot have very big, heavy book. So I have to select a small as possible book. And I come up with a book I call Cerveau et Silence, which means The Brain and Silence. It was published in 2018 by Michel Levanquin. He's a reputed neuroscientist doing research at CNRS, with Centre National de Recherche Scientifique, outside of Paris. And he's a wonderful researcher. He wrote many books. But in September 2017, he wake up with the facial paralysis because he'd been so busy doing publication, conference, interview, all kind of thing, teaching, and thing, that he will overwhelm his brain. He's overwhelmed his consciousness. So his body are revolting and taking a strike. So he said he couldn't really move his face. And he knows that's a bad sign. That's the early sign of having a stroke. So he called his wife. He bring to the hospital right away. They put on blood thinner. They put common medicine or something. And luckily, he didn't have a stroke. And of course, the doctor told him, 3 months, nothing. You have to cancel everything. No book, no nothing. You have to, and then you have to take care of your mind. You have to stop what you're doing and leave some room for the brain to rest. So he ended up going to some local meditation group in Paris. I don't know if somebody live in Paris can check it out, you know. And of course, he's a brain researcher. So he right there, and he learned about the benefit of silence. So that's why he wrote a book about the benefit of silence. Sometimes we call Wu Wei, which is doing nothing. And to me, that validates what our teacher, what we try to do, is sometimes we don't want to be silent. We don't want to be doing nothing. We want to do something. But I rather learn from his experience than having myself having facial paralysis or having a stroke. This year I was very busy. I traveled for two months in Vietnam for the second year memorial teacher. Right after that, I come back a few days. I go to Harvard Symposium in Boston and a retreat because you know they set up a Thich Nhat Hanh Center for Mindfulness at Harvard School, and we want to support them. And right after that, I came back. They have a OI, Order to Being retreat, and right 2 days later, I need to lead a 3.5-week tour in Canada. So I need to pace myself, and I need to have silence to calm my mind because there were so many other things I need to do. So for example, this is very important to me. Sometimes we withdraw ourselves a little bit, and I sit, I drink tea in my room, just thinking. I like to hear myself thinking. Often we don't. We hang around with other people. We want to talk to people all the time. We want to keep our mind busy. So sometimes it's very good. Another book I think I would like is Jill Bolton Taylor. She has a similar one. She got a stroke, and she completely in a coma, forget everything. And then they had to took part of her brain the size of the golf ball to take it out. And of course she lost her memory, and then her mother had to teach ABCD again. And then for 2 years she recovered. And she's now also a neuroscientist, and she wrote many books, and she now gives a talk in a conference to other people to share about her experience. What a wonderful, because they are both researchers in neuroscience. So they're right on the spot to learn from their personal experience and share with us. For the moment, has been translated yet, so it's in French. So if you have to, read French, and eventually somebody will translate. He wrote about several books, and of course, our teacher around October 2014, he got a stroke because also he worked so hard. Well, I think he's very compassionate. As long as we have retreat, he want to give a retreat. And sometimes have some illness, like in the lungs, and also in the digestive system. So that may be, and he get also the size of the gallball in his brain on the left side. But what remarkable that somehow his lymphocyte, his antibody, were able to digest the blood clot. So for three weeks it was common, but somehow after 3 or 4 weeks, the doctor find out that the blood clot had disappeared. So apparently the antibody had been eating away the blood clot. So he didn't have to have surgery, and then he recovered. So he stayed with us for another 8 years, which is really lucky. He can teach us, And also the thing, the silent, doing nothing, often we have what we call a fear of missing out. That is a big thing. We always say, I'm behind, somebody go ahead, I have to do something. So this is the book. And I'm start reading because I'm behind my reading. It was since September, and I like because French have wonderful books. It's Livre de Poche, very light, so I can carry in my backpack. And it's full of information because this guy is a very good researcher. And you can see by his, he published a book, The Power of the Spirit, of the mind, how to transform your brain. It's possible to do that. It's the 2015, and also the well-being, BNF, 2016. And at the beginning of 2017, he, to improve your brain, and then I think right after that, he got a stroke. He got a facial paralysis. And the doctor told him to stop doing what you're doing. And I think about a year later, he started to research about his situation. And then he wrote the book, The Brain and Silence, in 2019. And also, he improved on his book in 2019 to how to improve your brain and the real power of neuroscience. So if you read French, I will suggest you take and read some of his book. I think that's a wonderful. And basically, it just reinforced what Pramalesh was teaching. But it's good to have another perspective from neuroscience. We know about Buddhist psychology. Our teacher taught a lot about it. But this is validate what we've been teaching, and validate the power of silence, of doing nothing, of be still and know. And his book has a lot of information, like cortex singular posterior, and this is different, and this is the self. That is different from others and to the world. And this is the part of the self that are maintain ourselves in time. Mean you don't have the barrier between a self and others. And it's full of information in there. So I encourage you, if you get the chance, you can read it. And this is the fear of missing out here. My name is Brother Emptiness, and people often ask me that question all the time. What does it mean? How do you get the name? A lot of people love emptiness, but actually they are afraid of being empty. They are afraid of the mind doing nothing. They are afraid of the mind not thinking about something. And actually, if you concentrate enough and you project with the loving kind of compassion, you can embrace them all and being empty at the same time. Because you interact with everything else. So it is a practice we need to develop. It's not something that happens overnight all the time. And also the other one is fear of separation. For example, I have to combine being in my room and resting and having a silence, and also interact with other people. And some people from Toronto retreat I met in May, so I want to come out and talk to them a little bit, just to connect with them a little bit. Some people speak French, I come to speak with them or something like that. And also the other one is fear of rejection, of not belonging. So this is very important for people who have some trauma, some difficulty of not being accepted by the society and have to struggle all their life with that. So to me, we practice the four immeasurable love to overcome that. And of course, with the practice of mindful concentration inside, and also the four right diligence to improve it. So coming back to the five basic desire. So there is a way to go beyond the five desire. So if you notice, our monastic, we want to continue, but we don't have family. We don't have blood children. And yet we have to practice such a way that we can continue. We pass the information, we pass the insight, we pass the understanding of human nature, of awakeness to other people. So that is our mission, how to do things. And we like to be loved too, but love in a way of more universal love, to have respect between human beings. And also, we also have a desire to love too, but we love in a not a possessing way, something like that. And also, we learn how to learn, just like I learned neuroscience and so on, and to have more understanding, have insight. So to me, having a four immeasurable love plus the capacity to have insight will be able to satisfy all those five basic desires. And as a lay friend also, you can do that. You can find meaning in your life. You can continue in some way, maybe create an organization, a fundraising, something to help destitute, to have other people. And also we are recognized for what we are contribution to society. And so we learn how to love without being possessive, without discrimination. And so it's possible to do that if you are able to do. Another thing is to let go, to let go of our habit energy that prevent us from doing that. To let go of our ego that try to control our life, and try to be selfish. So I hope we cover enough for today. Basically, we talk about the the four way of increasing our joy and happiness, which Sister Flower has shared. And today we talk about guarding our mind, basically having a four right diligence, of being a good gardener, of watering only the good seeds that create good mental formation, like love, compassion, and non-discrimination, and joy and happiness in ourselves, and try to avoid allowing the seed of anger, fear, anxiety, jealousy to be watered. First of all, not to sprout into our own mind, but also asking our loved one not to water those seeds. And we need to have allies, we need to have co-practitioners who help us to develop we call it beloved community sometimes. And also I share about the four immeasurable love, meaning loving kindness, compassion, joy, and non-discriminative inclusiveness. And if we can practice that, we can improve our life, we can expand our love. So we're not limited by the constraint of our five basic desires. We transform from self-love to universal love. So thank you very much for listening to me. Thank you. So we can listen to the three sounded bell. Just to